Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of MD After Dark. This is the second episode, and me and Dre are actually in the same building once again, so that's fun. This will probably be the last one until a little while, but we'll see. Maybe this weekend we might get back, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with schedules and that stuff. But anyways, I'm Michael Hearn again here with, of course, Andre Tainter. How is Dre doing tonight?
The parlay sucked, but oh well. Other than that, the day's gone pretty well.
Yeah, certainly there's been a lot of sports action tonight rather than last night, so that was well too. So anyways, we're going to kick things off here with a little something NFL free agency news, I thought, since there was some breaking news earlier in the evening. So Russell Wilson has signed a 1-year deal with the New York Giants. So he'll be, I believe the contract is a year for $8 or $16 million, somewhere around there. And then, of course, Stephon Diggs signed a 3-year, I believe, $69 million deal with the New England Patriots. So big-time moves coming in late free agency. Russell Wilson to the Giants and Stephon Diggs to the Patriots. So, Dre, who was the bigger splash today?
Stephon Diggs. I mean, Stephon Diggs is a better receiver than Russell Wilson as quarterback, so.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. I could definitely agree with that. Even though Stephon Diggs is coming off the ACL tear, but Russell Wilson is aging, and I think Stephon Diggs still has a lot of stuff in the tank. Anyways, so what do both of these signings, how do both these signings enhance both teams?
Kind of makes me feel like the Giants aren't going to draft a quarterback, but they still could. You never know. And then, yeah, other than that, I got nothing.
Yeah, so, yeah, the Giants also have a lot of options. So it looks like then I think with the Giants signing both Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, if the Titans and Browns decide to take both Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders above them, they can definitely just take Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter or anybody else that they desire, since they already got those two experienced quarterbacks there. And then, of course, for Stephon Diggs, more weapons for Drake May. So, some good signings there. So, yeah, that's just a way to start off this episode with NFL free agency going on. And then, of course, we still got some NBA action going on right now at the time of this recording. So, quickly, I just want to review the college basketball day today. So we had the NIT and the College Basketball Invitational that was going on today. So we're going to quickly recap that. So the 5-seed Chattanooga defeated the 3-seeded Bradley 67-65 in a thrilling game today. Yeah, that was an awesome game to watch today. Both teams going back and forth, and then eventually constant threes, and then Chattanooga would eventually pull off and win it. And then the second game of the NIT tonight, 2-seeded North Texas defeated 4-seeded Oklahoma State 61-59 in a defensive battle. Again, North Texas, wow, what a win on the road at Oklahoma State. It was actually a fascinating story with North Texas because the game was played at Oklahoma State when it was originally supposed to be played at North Texas. The reason why the game wasn't played at North Texas is because the next day or tomorrow, North Texas has a faculty lunch. So they literally had to move the game to Oklahoma State because they wanted to prepare for a lunch. So, but didn't impact North Texas. They got the win, and they're moving on to the NIT semifinals. And North Texas will take on the winner between UC Irvine and UAB. And then in the College Basketball Invitational, Illinois State defeated Incarnate Word 78-73. So Illinois State's going to the CBI championship game. Just like Dre is probably happy that Incarnate Word lost. Yeah, very busy with stuff going on. And then Cleveland State has defeated Florida Gulf Coast. Something was like 78-63 or something like that. So it'll be Illinois State and Cleveland State in the CBI championship game. So that's it for the college basketball. Today, there was no March Madness. That doesn't start up until Thursday again, but NIT, CBI, just to give us a little break. Dre, got anything about those random tournaments?
I do not.
Nothing. I think he's right. I think you're preparing for the next segment, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that is the next one. Is we're gonna talk some NBA. I know there's some NBA games going on right now, but they're close to wrapping up. So, Dre, you want to lead us through the NBA segment?
I will. Our first game of the day was the Spurs and the Pistons. The Pistons got the win, 122-96. Pistons were led by Marcus Sasser with 27 points, 14 points from Jalen Duren and Asar Thompson. Tobias Harris with 15 points, 8 rebounds. Tim Hardaway with 12, and Malik Beasley with 13. Ron Holland also had 8 points and 6 rebounds. Meanwhile, for the Spurs, they were led by Devin Vassell with 26 points, 6 rebounds. Stephon Castle with 19. Kelvin Johnson with 10, and Sandro Mamukalashvili.
Mamu for short. Everyone likes to call him Mamu.
Yeah, but overall, the Pistons shot the ball well, 56% to the 36% of the Spurs, 48% from 3 to the 31% of the Spurs. They actually shot worse on the free throw line, 76-80. Rebounding, pretty even, around 40s. They both had 10 turnovers. So look at that. Sometimes you just outshoot a team. Our second game of the day is the Magic and the Hornets. Magic were led by Paulo Banchero for 32. Franz Wagner had 26 points and 8 rebounds. Wendell Carter with 11 rebounds. Anthony Black with 20, and Caleb Houston with 12. The Hornets were led by LaMelo Ball, obviously, with 25 points and 9 rebounds. Nick Smith and Josh Green both had 13, and Miles Bridges had 11 points and 6 rebounds. Overall, they both shot around mid-40s. Hornets did shoot 41% from 3. Magic shot 31. The Magic shot better from the free throw line at 84-76. They destroyed the rebounding battle. The Magic had 50 rebounds compared to the Hornets 38, and they turned the ball over three less times. Excuse me. Hold on, I'm just going to check something.
It's a foreshadowing for a later segment for tonight.
Yeah. Kind of nerve-wracking. Oh, well. Our next game was the Mavericks and the Knicks. Anthony Davis did not play in this game. The Knicks won, 128-113. They were led by OG Anunoby. 35 points. Josh Hart, triple-double. Karl-Anthony Towns, triple-double. Josh Hart with 16, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns with 26, 12 rebounds, 11 assists. Mikal Bridges with 21 points. Precious Achiuwa had 11, and Landry Shamet had 11. The Mavericks, led by Najee Marshall, had to pick up some slack because everybody was hurt. 38 points. Kai Jones, 9 points, 8 rebounds. Spencer Dinwiddie, 13 points, 7 assists.
Diddy alert.
And Brandon Williams with 22 points, and Jaden Hardy with 15. Overall, they both shot above 50%, so great shooting. Mavericks shot 31% from 3 to the 38% of the Knicks. Mavericks shot 84% from the free throw line to the 66% of the Knicks. They both had around mid-30s in rebounds, and the Mavericks actually turned the ball over only 2 more times than the Knicks. Yo, am I just dumb? No, I'm not.
Oh! Ladies and gentlemen, our mascot, Diddy.
And in the return to Miami, Jimmy Butler, the Warriors got slammed 112-86. Heat were led by, if it'll load, Bam Adebayo, 27 and 8 rebounds. Kel'el Ware with 14 points, 10 rebounds. Tyler Hero, 20. Alec Burks with 17. Davion Mitchell with 12 points. And Andrew Wiggins with 10, 5, and 5. Jimmy Butler, 11 points and 6 rebounds.
Oh.
Allie, quit hitting the table. You know what?
Diddy strikes again.
Quit hitting the table, dog. Brandon Poshkemski had 14 points. Jonathan Kuminga had 15, and Luis Santos had 13. Overall, the Heat shot 55% to the Warriors 39. They shot 68% from the three-point line, 17 for 25. And then the Warriors shot 9 for 38 at 23%. They both shot below 75% from free throw line. The Heat just edged them out on the rebounding battle, and they turned the ball over 3 less times.
I just want to add something to that game. So I did get the privilege to watch that game, and just want to say, my goodness, that was, the Heat just dominated that one. I mean, you could tell from the start, Steph Curry didn't play tonight for the Warriors, and just seeing that the fans, like every time Jimmy Butler touched the ball, him booing, the Heat fans were booing Jimmy Butler. It was a sight to behold, and plus the Heat, again, they just could not miss. They played great defense. The Heat played great defense all night, and the Warriors really just couldn't do anything. And the Heat just played terrific, and I think they set a statement to Jimmy Butler, potentially.
Mm-hmm. Huh. All right. Thank you, Michael. Our next game of the day, if we can get ourselves sorted out here, was the Rockets and the Hawks. Rockets defeated the Hawks 121-114. The Rockets were led by Jalen Green with 32 points, 11 rebounds, double-double. Jabari Smith with 17. Alperen Sengun with 18 points, 9 rebounds, just shy of a double-double. Tari Easton had 10 points, 14 rebounds, double-double. Dylan Brooks had 10 points, and Steven Adams had 7 and 7. The Hawks were led by Dyson Daniels and Trae Young, who both had 19 points and double-doubles with assists. Terrence Mann with 16, Georges Niang with 12, and Zachary Risache with 18. Allie, knock it off. Both teams shot below 45% from the field, and both teams shot barely, if not 30%. And they both shot great from the free throw line, 89% for the Rockets, 86% for the Hawks. Rockets beat them on the rebounding battle, 51-42. And then the Hawks turned the ball over one more time, 14-13. Next game, Grizzlies defeated the Jazz, 140-103. Grizzlies were led by Desmond Bane with 21 points, Jaren Jackson with 19, and then Vince Williams with 15, Zach Edey with 15, Jay Huff with 15, and then Scottie Pippen had a double-double with 16 points, 10 assists, Jalen Wells, 10 points, Santi Aldama with 9, John Conchar with 8, Luke Kennard with 8. Everybody on their team scored that played. And then for the Jazz, they were led by Isaiah Collier with 21 points, Colin Sexton with 15, Kyle Filipowski with 13, Johnny Juzang with 13. Walker Kessler, 7 points, 9 rebounds, and then Cody Williams for 8 points. Keontae George had 6, Oscar Tshiebwe had 6, and then overall, the Memphis Grizzlies shot 53% to the Jazz's 43%, 44% from three-point line for the Grizzlies, 40% for the Jazz, 88% from the free throw line for the Grizzlies, 81% for the Jazz, 52 rebounds for the Grizzlies to 28 of the Jazz.
Ew.
That is horrible.
Oh, boy.
And the Jazz turned the ball over 13 times compared to the Grizzlies' 8. And then our final game that isn't done. Oh, no, that is all the games that aren't done. Yeah. So right now, if I refresh this, if it'll load. The Kings are down 94-117 to the Thunder, so yeah, that's over. DeMontis, what the heck? And then if we go to the other game, actually I'm just going to say what it says on here. 120-111, the Cavaliers won. They just finished, which means both of my parlays aren't going to hit, so that sucks, which means I am down to very low dollars on this. But you know what? That's fine. Oh, DeMontis, why couldn't you have just got 2 more assists and 2 more points? And overall, pretty weird day for the NBA. I will go over these last 2 games real quick. Cavs were led by Darius Garland, 27 points, 8 assists. Ty Jerome with 25. Evan Mobley with 21 points, 12 rebounds. Jared Allen with 14 points, 8 rebounds. And Sam Merrill with 14 points. The Trailblazers were led by Donovan Clingan with a double-double at 18 points, 12 rebounds. Shaden Sharp with 18 points. Denny Avdia with 17 points, 10 rebounds. Couldn't make 3 more points. I see how it is. Tamani Kamara with 13 points. Scoot Henderson with 18, 6, and 6. Matisse Thybulle 15. And then Anthony Simons with 7 points and 8 assists. The Trailblazers took 101 shots and shot 39%. The Cavs shot 48 for 88 with 54%. The Cavs shot 44% from 3 to the 32% of the Trailblazers. Trailblazers shot 63% from the free throw line, which could have gotten them back in the game, and the Cavs shot 82%. The Trailblazers won the rebounding battle and the turnover battle, 11-8. And then for our final game of the day, the Thunder are beating the Kings by 25, so I'm just going to go over it. Actually, that's more than 25.
Actually, before we get to I got some news here. So let's let the Thunder and Kings.
Why does it matter? The Kings lost to the Thunder 119 plus to 94 plus. The Thunder were led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 32 points, and Isaiah Joe had 14. Alex Caruso with 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Chet Holmgren with 18 points, 8 rebounds. Isaiah Hartenstein with 9 rebounds. And Jalen Williams with an IN had 7 points and 9 rebounds, as well as Kenrick Williams with 11 and Lou Dort with 13. The Kings were led by Keegan Murray with 28 points and 6 rebounds. Zach LaVine had 19 points, 7 assists. Jake LaRavia with 11, 2, and 2. Keon Tyrese Ellis had 12 points. DeMar DeRozan had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. And Domantas Sabonis had 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 12 assists. Or 12 rebounds and 8 assists. My fault. The Kings shot 37% to the Thunder 54%. The Thunder shot 59% from 3. I mean, the Kings didn't even shoot that bad either. They shot 44%, but they hurt themselves at the free throw line at 66% to the 80% of the Thunder. Bro. The Kings got dominated on the boards 49-34, and they turned the ball over 4 less times, which doesn't make sense. So yeah, that's about it for the NBA. Michael can do the NHL now.
Just before I want to get to the NHL, I just want to talk about 2 injuries that happened in the NBA. So last night I forgot to mention that Jason Tatum did sprain his ankle in last night's game.
Womp womp.
Yeah, so Jason Tatum might be off a little bit. And then heartbreaking news that I got today. So it turns out that Damian Lillard has a blood clot in his, I believe, in his
calf.
Yep, in his calf, or I'm not really sure.
Dog. Here, just take this.
Yeah. So yeah, Damian Lillard did get a blood clot in his thigh. I'm currently searching up.
Calf.
Calf. My bad, calf. Yeah, so I'm currently just searching up the scientific name for the blood clot. We got news about that. So Damian Lillard is out indefinitely with this injury. So he's diagnosed with, it just says blood clot diagnosis. Oh yeah, deep vein thrombosis was,
which is a blood clot.
Yes, that's the term that I keep hearing everywhere. But yeah, it's a blood clot basically. So Damian Lillard is out indefinitely until that time. So basically a big loss for the Bucks. Oh boys, the season.
Why'd you look it up? It had it literally right here. Lillard out indefinitely due to blood clot in calf.
Oh, I was just trying to search up like what other terms that at least what ESPN was using. ESPN was using a different one, but yeah. So blood clot. Anyways, Damian Lillard is out indefinitely with a blood clot, and this not only disappoints like the whole entire Bucks fan, but so I'm going to the Bucks game this Friday, and I think the biggest loser from this is my sister. So now she can't watch Damian Lillard play. But anyways, for Damian Lillard, please
nobody really cares other than hopefully Damian Lillard isn't getting his career ended by the blood clot, which him and Victor Wembanyama still have a chance. So let's just hope that happens.
Yeah, basically the scariest thing about blood clots is this is what ended Chris Bosh's career.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, hope for the best. But yeah, and also Jason Tatum. hopefully he can recover fast for the ankle for playoff time. So, anyways, all that said, let's get you to the NHL. Let's get you to the NHL scoreboard today. So, the Buffalo Sabres have defeated the Ottawa Senators today, 3-2, to start the game off. Excuse me, we're having technical difficulties here.
He's doing this way more difficult than it has to be.
User error. User error. Alright, there we go. So again, the Buffalo Sabres defeated the Ottawa Senators today, 3-2. Scoring goals for the Sabres today was Jacob Bernard Docker, Jack Quinn, and Tage Thompson. And then assisting for the Sabres today was Zach Benson, Rasmus Dahlin, Tyson Kozak, Peyton Krebs, Ryan McLeod, and JJ Peterka. They all assisted for the Sabres today. And then in net for the Sabres was James Reimer. He had 30 saves out of 32 saves attempts, while allowing only 2 goals and having a .938 save percentage. Meanwhile, for the Senators, scoring goals today for the Sens were David Perron and Brady Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk continues to have his great season he's had so far, leading the Sens. And then assisting for the Senators were Drake Batherson, Dylan Cousins, Claude Giroux, Ridley Gregg, all assisting for the Sens. And then in net today for the Senators was Anton Forsberg, who did not have the greatest day today, having 21 saves out of 24 saved attempts, allowing 3 goals, and having an .875 save percentage. Anyways, the Buffalo Sabres have a win to try to keep their minimal playoff hopes alive, even though they're currently in last in the Eastern Conference. But the Senators, a little bit of a blow since they're currently in the first wildcard spot. Kind of a blow to their chances at a at third place in the division. So, anyways, the Sabres defeat the Senators 3-2. And then the Maple Leafs completely dismantled the Philadelphia Flyers today, 7-2. My goodness. Scoring goals were William Nylander, who had 2 of them today. He also had 2 assists. So a total of 4 points for William Nylander. And then John Tavares. He had 2 goals and 2 assists today, so he also had 4 points. Funny enough, William Nylander and John Tavares each had 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points, and 4 shot on goals. So, mirror images of statistic lines there for the both of those. And then Bobby McMahon had a goal and assist as well. And then also scoring goals for the Maple Leafs were Max Domi and David Kampf. And then assisting for the Maple Leafs as well as Nylander, Tavares, and McMahon were Matthew Nyes. He had 2 assists today. Kale Jarnkrok had an assist. And then Steven Lorentz, Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, and Jake McCabe all recorded assists today. And then meanwhile in net, it was a decent day for Anthony Stolarz. He really didn't have to do much considering the blowout that was taking place. He had 17 saves out of 19 saves attempts and allowed 2 goals and had an .895 save percentage. Doesn't look great, but with the amount of goals that the Maple Leafs are scoring today, Stolarz, he had an easy
day. He didn't even really have to try.
Exactly.
If it went in, it went in.
Yes. The Maple Leafs offense was just that electric today. And then meanwhile for the Flyers, scoring goals today were Sean Courtier and Ryan Poehling. Sorry if I butchered those 2 names. And then assisting was Rodrigo Abels, Jamie Drysdale, Matvei Michkov, and Jacob Pelletier. And then in net today for the Flyers, oh boy, Samuel Ersson. He had a rough one today. He had 23 saves out of 30 saves attempts, of course, allowing the 7 goals, and having an abysmal .767 save percentage. Okay, I shouldn't say abysmal, but it's not great. There's a lot worse than that. But
the guy last night had like a 68%.
Ugh. Yeah, terrible. But anyways, This was a big win for the Maple Leafs tonight to try to keep in pace with the Florida Panthers for the Atlantic Division title and the Flyers. This was not a good loss to keep intact with the wild card race there in the Eastern Conference in that wild East. I know it doesn't exist, but whatever. But anyways, huge win for the Maple Leafs. Flyers, oh boy. Alright, and then next up we have the Lightning defeated the Penguins. Another blowout. 6-1. The Lightning defeated the Penguins. Leading the way for the Lightning were Anthony Cirelli, who had 2 goals on the night, and then Nikita Kucherov had a goal and 2 assists. Brandon Hagel had a goal and assist, and Ryan McDonough had a goal and assist as well. Also scoring for the Lightning today were Braden Point, who had a goal, and then Oliver Bjorkstrand had an assist. Eric Cernak had an assist, and then also recording assists with Oliver Bjorkstrand and Eric Cernak, or Jake Gensel, Emil Lilleberg, Janice Moser, Nicholas Paul, and Nick Perbix. And then also Darren Radish recorded an assist as well. In net today, again, Andrei Vasilevsky had an easy day back there. The offense was scoring, so he just put up his 14 saves, 15 saves attempts, and only allowing 1 goal, having a 933 save percentage. So yeah, Vasilevsky was enjoying the time of his life back there, watching the offense score, and not a lot of shots were coming his way. And then meanwhile, scoring the only goal today for the Penguins was Brian Rust. And then assisting on that goal was Sidney Crosby and Matt Grzelcyk. And then in nets, oh boy, Alex Nedeljkovic. Alex Nedeljkovic did not go bad. He was actually in relief with Tristan Jarry. Oh boy. I bet there's a reason why Tristan Jarry got waived at the beginning of the year. He had 3 saves out of 7 save attempts.
Bro had more goals given up than the saves.
Yeah, 4 goals allowed. 428 save percentage. Oh boy, Tristan Jarry. Not good. But then in relief was Alex Nedeljkovic. He had 18 saves out of 20 save attempts, allowing 2 goals with a 900 save percentage. So, a little bit better. But, yeah, the Lightning and Tristan Jarry. Another rough night for the Pens. And then, of course, the Lightning get a huge win to keep up with the Maple Leafs, who also won today in that Atlantic Division. And the Penguins, another brutal loss. So looking like their playoff hopes are starting to spiral down. But anyways, the Lightning did defeat the Penguins today 6-1. And then our next game here, we got the Predators defeated the Hurricanes today. What a road win for Nashville. Predators won 3-1 against the Carolina Hurricanes. Leading the way for the Predators was Luke Evangelista. He had 2 goals today. Also, Michael Bunting recorded a goal for the Preds as well. And then assisting today was Mark Del Gaizo, who had 2 assists for the Preds. Also assisting for the Predators was Kiefer Bellows, Philip Forsberg, Ryan O'Reilly, and Brady Shea. And then in net today, Yusei Saros had a fantastic day in net today. He had 34 saves out of 35 save attempts, only allowing 1 goal with a 971 save percentage. So Yusei Saros was a brick wall back there for the Predators. I mean, he's not as good as Pekka Rinne was in 2017, but let's be honest, Pekka Rinne was just too good back then. But Yusei Saros was pretty good today, I will say that. And then, anyways, scoring the only goal for the Hurricanes today was Taylor Hall. And then assisting on those goals, Dre is thinking about Taylor Hall. I bet you miss Taylor Hall, don't you?
No. It just makes me mad because the Blackhawks get rid of people and they do good.
Yeah.
But he was kind of a cancer. So.
Yeah, I could definitely see that from most. I could definitely see that. And then assisting of Taylor Hall's goal was Shane Gostisbehere. Or Shane Gostisbehere here. It's Shane Gostisbehere. Bear. Anyways, he had an assist, and then Seth Jarvis assisted on that goal as well. And then in net, Pyotr Kochetkov had 13 saves out of 13 13 saves out of 16 saves attempts, allowing 3 goals and having a save percentage of .812. So not the greatest day for Kochetkov. So anyways, the Predators did defeat the Hurricanes 3-1. And the Predators have a small chance of the playoff, a very small chance if they're not eliminated already. But yeah, very small chance. That was a big win for the Preds today. Meanwhile, the Hurricanes still hanging on to that second spot in the Metropolitan Division. Anyways, our next game here, we got the Blues, another blowout. The Blues demolished the Canadiens 6-1. My goodness. Scoring goals today for the Blues was Philip Broberg, Robert Thomas, Dylan Holloway, Zachary Bolduc, Jordan Kyrou, and Alexander Texier. And then assisting for those goals today were Philip Broberg and Robert Thomas each recorded a goal and 3 assists. My goodness, if there was hat tricks for assists, Broberg and Thomas would have 1 each. My goodness. Cam Fowler had 2 assists today. And then also assisting were Dylan Holloway, Radek Faksa, Matthew Joseph, Jake Neighbors, and that's all. Yeah, a lot of goals and assisting for the Blues today. And then in net, Jordan Binnington has been really good. He's kind of struggled with the Blues to start off the year, but now ever since the Four Nations face-off, Jordan Binnington has been really good for the Blues. He had another fantastic performance tonight. 24 saves out of 25 saves attempts with only 1 goal allowed with a save percentage of .960. So again, Jordan Binnington continues to be a brick wall back there for the St. Louis Blues. And then looking at the Canadiens, the only goal scored today for them was Nick Suzuki. And then assisting on that goal was Cole Caulfield and Lane Hudson. How about Lane Hudson having a great rookie year for the Canadiens? And then in net today, Sam Montembeault had 27 saves out of 32 saves attempts and 5 goals allowed. And then also with a save percentage of .844. And then in relief for Montembeault was Jakob Dobes with 4 saves and 5 save attempts, allowing 1 goal with an .800 save percentage.
That means that one guy that gave up like 7 goals, he was in relief, which means the first goalie probably got hurt.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, that definitely could have been. Definitely a possibility.
Well, then why would they start this guy on the top and then have that guy on the bottom? If he would have started, that makes no sense, especially if he only gave up 1 goal in 5 attempts.
I think Montembeault started, and then since he struggled today, they probably put in Dobes.
Yeah, but you're saying that the guy that gave up 7 goals started, and then they brought in the other guy because he was the guy at the top. So that means that he would have been the starting goalie, and he would have been the goalie in relief.
I think they put the guy at the top for like the guy that had like the most saves. I'm probably guessing. On Google. We're using Google as a stats reference, by the way.
Give me your phone.
No, wrong pocket. It's this one. Yeah. Alright, well, he's doing some research purposes. So the Blues got the win again against the Canadiens 6-1. They stay intact with the Minnesota Wild, which we will get to eventually. And the Blues are hanging on for dear life for that final wildcard spot. Meanwhile, the Canadiens, they're trying to hang on for that final wildcard spot as well, but that might be in jeopardy with that loss today. And then we got an overtime thriller. The Jets defeated the Washington Capitals 3-2 in overtime. How about this? Leading the way for the Jets was Mason Appleton, Nikolaj Ehlers, and Josh Morrissey, who each scored goals today. And then assisting on them was Dylan DeMello, Adam Lowry, and Nino Niederreiter, as well as Cole Perfetti, Dylan Sandberg, and Mark Scheffel, all assisting today. And then In that today for the Jets was Connor Hellebuyck. Connor Hellebuyck did Connor Hellebuyck stuff. He had 27 saves, 29 save attempts, and 2 goals allowed, and a save percentage of .931. And then meanwhile for the Capitals, scoring goals today were Andrew Mangiapane and Alex Ovechkin. And Alex Ovechkin, with that goal today, of course, Alex Ovechkin is intact of chasing Wayne Gretzky of the most goals scored in NHL history. So Alex Ovechkin scored there.
6 goals away.
So yeah, thank you, Dre, for that. So with that goal today, Alex Ovechkin is only 6 goals away from Wayne Gretzky for the all-time NHL scoring record, for the goal record. So that was a huge goal today for Ovechkin, getting close in the great chase. And then meanwhile, assisting was Jacob Churchrin. Jacob Churchrin signed in an extension earlier today. I'm going to bring up the extension details here. Extension details. So Jacob Churchrin, meanwhile, the contract. So Jacob Churchrin, 8 years, $72 million contract extension. That happened earlier today. And with that, he assisted as well. So a pretty good day for Churchrin, except for the overtime loss against the Jets. But he got paid. I guess that's all that matters. And then also assisting for the Capitals today was Alexei Protas, Trevor Van Riemsdyk also assisted. And then in that today, Logan Thompson, not a bad day, but he had 22 saves, 25 save attempts for allowing 3 goals, and then an 880 save percentage. Yeah, and then so again, the Jets defeat the Capitals 3-2 in overtime. Big win for the Jets. They continue to be dominant.
All right, I'm going to do this game. My favorite game of the day. The Vegas Golden Knights beat the Minnesota Wild 5-1. Overall, Jack Eichel had a drawn a blank. 3 goals.
Hat trick,
yeah. And then Brett Howden and Tanner Pearson both had goals. Brett Howden had 2 assists. Or excuse me, that's a plus minus. They don't have the full names on here. Mark Stone assisted on 2 of the goals. I think this is Will. Probably not. Oh, it is Will. Will Carlson had an assist, and that's it. Which means that Jack Eichel probably took like 2 of those goals by himself. And then the goalie, let's see, Aiden Hall, 23 for 24 with 1 goal allowed. So a pretty solid day.
Aiden Hill's a really good goaltender.
Andre Fleury had 33 saves and 37 attempts and 4 goals allowed. Just so everybody knows, Matt Boldy had a -3 plus minus. And then the lone goal was scored by Marcus Johansson, which is only his 8th goal of the year, and it was assisted by Matt Zuccarello. And yeah, actually, I was wrong. For the Golden Knights, Noah Hannafin had 2 assists, and then Caden Korczak had an assist, and Shea Theodore had an assist. Wow. He has 7 goals and 42 assists on the year. That's crazy.
Yeah, typical defenseman. Yeah, typical defenseman numbers. Yeah, so
how many games we got left? We got the
Red Wings and the Avalanche and Kraken and Flames to go through. So anyways, recapping on the Golden Knights and Wild. We're just waiting for Kirill Kaprizov to come back at this point.
What was it, like a 3-game losing streak?
Yeah, about. Oh boy, yeah, it's not looking good for Minnesota. And plus, the Golden Knights and Stars are the 2 most likely teams that will play in the playoffs. And us getting beat back-to-back nights. Not a good sign. Not a good time. But anyways, let's move on to our next game. We got the Colorado Avalanche.
Did Nathan McKinnon score?
He did.
Of course he did.
Yeah, so the Colorado Avalanche have defeated the Detroit Red Wings tonight 5-2. Of course, they were led by Devin Tays, who had a goal and 2 assists today. And then each having 2 assists as well was Jonathan Drouin and Martin Necas. And then, of course, as Dre pointed out, Nathan McKinnon had a goal and assist today. Nathan McKinnon continues to do Nathan McKinnon stuff. Cale Makar got a goal today, as well as Valerie Nikushkin and Logan O'Connor. And then also assisting for the Avs today was Brock Nelson. Must be the kitties outside.
No, it's the dog.
Oh, you let him outside? Or her outside?
I let it outside.
Jeez. Okay, and then anyways, Mackenzie Blackwood in net today. Had a pretty solid day. 21 saves, 23 saves attempts, and only allowing 2 goals with a 913 save percentage. And then looking at the Red Wings, the goal scorers today were JT Compher and Austin Watson. And then assisting on those goals today were JT Compher, Simon Edvidson, Michael Rasmussen, and Vladimir Tarasenko. And then in net today, Alex Lyon did not have the greatest game today. He had 23 saves out of 27 save attempts, allowing 4 goals and having an 852 save percentage. The 5th goal was scored on an empty netter. So, yep, that was the Avalanche. Got a great win over the Red Wings, and they can and yeah, one of the worst things. It was a bad day to be a Minnesota Wild fan. The Wild lost and the Avalanche won. So we continue to separate. But again, as a Minnesota Wild fan, do we really want to play the Stars in the playoffs again?
Yes.
Especially what happened 2 years ago.
Yes.
We had the 2-1 series lead.
Yes.
Especially how well we can score against Jake Ottinger. It's a joke. We can't score on him at all. All right, and then anyways, the Calgary Flames defeated the Seattle Kraken 4-3 in overtime. The Flames were led by Nazem Kadri, who had 2 goals on the day. And then Matt Coronado and Jonathan Huberdeau each had 2 assists. And then also scoring for the Flames were Adam Klapka and Rasmus Andersson, each scoring a goal. And then assisting as well for the Flames were Daniil Miromanov and Kevin Rooney. And then in net today for the Flames, Dustin Wolf, 28 saves and 29 saves attempts.
26 saves. That's not math.
Dude, the math is not mathing. The math never maths at 11:48 p.m.
Literally.
Yeah. So Dustin Wolf had 26 saves out of 29 saves attempts, allowing 3 goals. And then the save percentage was .896. Not a bad night for Dustin Wolf. And then anyway, looking at the Seattle Kraken, they were led by Jaden Schwartz, who had a goal and assist. And then also scoring goals tonight for the Kraken were Ty Carty and Jordan Eberle. And then assisting for the Kraken today were Matty Beniers, Ajay Burakovsky, oh my goodness, Vince Dunn, and Jared McCann. And also Joey Decord. He also assisted for the Kraken tonight. Oh wait, that does not, no, excuse me. It was just Jared McCann that assisted. Speaking of Joey Decord, he was the one in net today. He had an okay performance tonight. He had 33 saves out of 37 goal attempts. Of course, allowing 4 goals and having an .892 save percentage. So not the greatest day, but also not the worst day for Joey Decord. So again, the Flames defeated the Kraken, and the Flames keep their playoff hopes alive with that big win today. And then right now, the game going on right now, the Kings are currently up on the Rangers 2-1 in the 3rd period. We'll keep you with score updates on that one, as if the game gets close to nearing or ending, we'll keep you updates on that game. So meanwhile, that's it for the NHL. And Dre, do you have any picks for us today? Oh yeah, you gotta have the computer back.
I guess I can look. Sadly, I lost all my money because I don't know. I would always do like 3-leg parlays, and everybody would be like 1 point away, and they wouldn't hit. I don't know. I've been struggling lately, but hopefully something can go right for once. I just need to hit big one of these days. And it's not like I'm overly betting either. I mean, when Denny Avdia dropped 17 after he dropped 30 on the Cavs, the last game they played, and then all he needed was 20, there's a problem. So that lost me money. And if the thing could work, that'd be nice. But we also have a $5 bet on Thursday for Fernando Tatis to get one base, and I don't remember who the other guy is. If it'll load, oh my goodness.
Sorry guys for having technical difficulties right now.
Yeah, it's because I'm downloading MLB The Show, so that sucks. But anyways, you know what? I'm just gonna look up the NBA games for tomorrow. I won't know the lines, but that's all right. Not tonight. I know all the games from tonight. All right. Come on. Let's go.
Come on. Come on. Good old classic meme. I miss OG Brain Rot. The new one is just not as good nowadays.
All right, tomorrow we have the Wizards and 76ers. For that game, Quentin Grimes over his points. Yeah. And then for the Wizards, Alex Sarr for rebounds, possibly. If it's a 6.5, 7.5 line, maybe it'll be lower than that. Also, for the 76ers, Justin Edwards has been playing okay lately, but they might boost his line because of how good he has been playing. Chuma Okeke, long shot pick for a double-double. He has had almost a double-double in his last 2 games, and he had a double-double on his first start. And then the second game, the Lakers and the Pacers. Luka Doncic will always have a discounted pick. If you want underdog, they will post it. And the Pacers, Tyrese Haliburton assist, Luka PRA either way. And then, Raptors and Nets, Emmanuel Quickly, rebounds plus assist or just assists. The Nets, Cam Johnson points. Zaire Williams did disappoint in his points. And then Jakob Poeltl for rebounds. And then the next game, the Clippers and the Knicks. Ivica Zubac, double-double, or rebounds in general. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, both with points. Kawhi Leonard rebounds or PR, either way. The Knicks, Josh Hart, PRA. Who knows, maybe he can go for another triple-double tomorrow. And then Cat with points, because if he can get Zubac moving out in the perimeter, should be pretty simple for him. Bucks and Nuggets, Giannis points. Russell Westbrook, his assists, he has been doing pretty good. I don't know, that's kind of a hard game to predict. And then Celtics and actually Bucks, Kevin Porter Jr. points. It still might be around like 10, 11 points. And he loves to chuck up shots, so yeah.
Plus with a Lillard injury now.
That's why I said that. Yeah. And then the Celtics and the Suns are the final game tomorrow. Of course, the Suns have a bad center, so I mean, maybe Kristaps Porzingis points without Tatum. Who knows if Jaylen Brown's going to play? Yeah. But other than that, I don't know. I might have to post a video tomorrow on the TikTok for some picks once I see the lines, and that's all I got.
Yeah, so make sure, again, our PSA about betting.
Gamble responsibly.
Yes, please. Don't go
And
overboard.
Use our codes, BearsOG24 and Michael Hernan, 3428. If you want to join Underdog, we'd appreciate it. And, yeah, is that it?
Yeah, pretty much. So, again, what he said. And, yeah, make sure to go follow the TikTok, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we post betting stuff. And now we're starting to post some TikToks about, like, random TikToks, you know.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, create the best school using a filter, that stuff. You know, we're just experimenting with stuff. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to have fun here at the end of the day. Sure, trying to give you guys content, but at the end of the day,
that is content.
It is content, yeah. We're giving you guys content, and we're just trying to have fun at the end of the day. So, yeah. experimenting with a lot of stuff. So, yeah. We're a new podcast, so of course we're going to try out stuff.
This is episode 10. We got 10 days down.
Heck yeah. And then we got a long ways to go. I mean, we have yet to have a guest yet. Sorry, we did not have to bring you guys a guest today. But we're gonna get you some. Don't worry. We're gonna get if you guys are sick and tired of seeing us two need a refreshing face, we'll get you one eventually. I head back to UW Whitewater on Monday, or excuse me, I guess Sunday night, but into Monday. So maybe might hit up with some of my Whitewater friends or something like that, or maybe Drake and find some of his friends that live or our friends.
Nobody around here gonna do it because everybody's busy now, and they're all back at school. So
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's the truth. But anyways, we're gonna provide you guys the best content as possible at the end of the day.
Informative. That's a good word.
Informative. That sounds like something I would pronounce. Yeah.
Well, I hope the parlays go better tomorrow. I'm just gonna find 2 picks and put some money on it, honestly. But yeah, we will see you all tomorrow.
Yeah, a little bit of a shorter episode today. Oh yeah, by the way, Kings are up 2-1 against the Rangers at the time of this recording with 6 minutes. So yeah. But anyways, that'll do it today. So again, like Dre said, peace. I'm Michael Hernan. This is Andre Tinner. This is gonna be the shortest episode that we had in this podcast.
Since the start.
Exactly.
Well, there's not a lot of stuff going on. Tomorrow will probably be even shorter. Because who knows? There's not a lot of NBA. Depends how many NHL there is.
We gotta create something then, like MLB predictions.
We already did that.
I know, but like
we can't
something related.
Mock draft NFL.
Yes. There we go.
All right, there we go. That's tomorrow's idea.
We might give you a mock draft tomorrow. All right. So yeah, tune in to tomorrow for the podcast if you guys want to hear our mock drafts. So yeah, that'll do it. So I'm Michael Hearn here with Andre Tanner for one last time. Peace out, and hope you guys have a great night.
Bye.
Did he?